So I'm not usually much for New Year's resolutions. I don't think I've ever made a New Year's resolution. But I sort of feel like just with good timing and with thinking about my approach to card collecting, it's almost like a New Year's resolution. So there's only a limited amount of cards that I can get. And sort of when assessing my approach and the cards that I've gotten, I kind of have always had the approach of casting a wide net and finding the best value, which would still be my approach going forward. I think the only difference is that I want to have a little bit more focus on cards that I feel like I really like. I want to make sure a bit that I'm going to continue to love the card. I think an example of a really, really nice card that I got for a little bit of money that I'm so happy with is this one right here. Another little tweaks in my strategy of buying cards is to look at pre-war a little more, and to get more educated about pre-war. And that's why I have only pre-war cards showing here. John from 3D80s Kid was nice enough to have me on his show recently, or his new show. And I did show this card, which fits the bill of cards that I love, and it's pre-war. So I'll lay this little puppy down, and I'm leading to something here. I'm doing a lot of talking, but here is a card that I think I've shown before. This is a reprint from the 80s. Rube Waddell started pitching in 1897, had a couple years off. If you look at his stats, they're pretty incredible. You know, he is known for being a kind of idiosyncratic guy. I think that might be an understatement. I think he had some neurodiversity, would be the modern term. I don't know, I've heard people say autism, but I don't think it's super clear. He definitely, had something going on, for lack of a better way of saying it, that was complicating things for him. And he also had some drinking issues. But his pitching was absolutely stellar. If you look at it, like some advanced stats, his fielding independent pitching was like almost half the time he pitched, he led the league in that. And that's, of course, in that day, no one would have known that. And his strikeouts, were I think he was like the strikeout artist of his day. So that brings me to this here. So now, this is a card this is definitely a grail card for me. And this is now my favorite, the T206 card that is my favorite in my collection. Not a lot of competition. I think this is the competition right here. So I have a lot of room to grow there. But that's exactly kind of my point here. So I'm really happy with this card. I do think that there's a little softening in the market. This card was really just unattainable for me some months back. The back, of course, is not particularly great. And I think that's what brings the grade down. But it's it's pre-war. So I am okay with that if I can get a nicer front. And I think this is, I'm pretty happy with the front of this card. I'm very happy with the front of this card. And the back of this card, this is not a plus of the, but I can absolutely live with this. I can more than live with this. I'm really, really happy to have this card. I didn't think of this card as being particularly attainable. It now is. And I think I've seen other, I got this at auction. The list prices are lower, but at auction, of course, you can always get it a little better. Thanks everyone for watching. And I think you have to be a little proud of me. Not for the cards that I've bought, but for being a middle-aged dad and really not trying to make any jokes throughout this video until maybe now a little bit. So, I am going to break my arm, pat myself on the back, and I hope everyone's doing well.